And welcome to Super Rugby Round 10 Predictions brought to you by DrivingMaul. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, a YouTube channel, what else is it? YouTube channel, podcast, Twitter account and website bringing the best in rugby predictions and opinion. And yes, after this round we will be halfway through the season, and it doesn't really feel like the season's got going yet, but yeah, we're nearly halfway through, so it's the Super Rugby has been going for a while now. So we kick off with the Blues hosting the Highlanders at Eden Park on Friday night on a 7:35 kick-off in New Zealand. And you've got to say, the Blues haven't beaten a New Zealand side in Super Rugby for, it seems like, an age. And the Highlanders have been going well. They've only lost those 2 games away to the Chiefs and the Hurricanes, but you can't see them stumbling in this one, even if they haven't won an away game yet. The Blues just make too many mistakes. So I'm backing the Highlanders to win this one by 5. For the first time in a while, we have an Australian game straight after that, with the Waratahs hosting the Lions. Now this is a real difficult one to pick. I mean, obviously the Lions made the finals last year. They're topping the South African Conference on 25 points, second only to the Hurricanes on total points so far. Yes, they've had a few hiccups, but they seem to come right last week, and Warren Whiteley is back back in the touring squad, so they're getting some of their injured players back. The Waratahs, on the other hand, are on a 4-game winning streak. They do seem to have got things clicking, so I am going to back the Waratahs to win this one by 3. But the Lions are perhaps the best, well, along with the Sharks. Actually, the Sharks are a pretty good touring side, but the Lions are generally a decent touring side for South Africans anyway. And this one, I think, will be a close one. On into Saturday, and the Crusaders host the Sunwolves. Let's be honest, Sunwolves played 7, lost 1-0. Sorry, lost 0. Played 7, lost 7. The Crusaders are going to clearly beat them comfortably. I'm backing the Crusaders to win by 20. And at home, this is going to be an absolute steamroller. Let's be honest. We then follow that up with the Reds hosting the Chiefs over in Australia. The Reds did look good, and then they've come off the back now of losing 3 games on the trot. The Chiefs have only lost 2 games, both obviously to the New Zealand opposition, to the Crusaders and the Hurricanes away. So you've got to say the Chiefs will be favourite for this one, even with all their injury worries. So I'm backing the Chiefs by 10. So the Reds lost 3 on the trot. Their confidence can't be very good. Then we head over to South Africa, where the Bulls host the Rebels. Now the Rebels were that team that we thought was looking pretty good, but that was off the back of having a very favourable start to their schedule, and it all gets sort of tougher now with the tour coming up. They've lost the last 2. The Bulls got that good win, and surprising win over the Sharks last weekend. You've got to say they must have a bit of confidence now, and they'll be. If we look at them, they've won 3 out of 7, and the 4 they have lost were 3 of those were on tour at the Reds, the Chiefs, and the Crusaders. They've only lost in South Africa was to the Lions, and they beat the Crusaders by 30 points last week. They're starting. You've got to say that I think the Bulls are favourites here to win this one by about 7. The Sharks then host the Stormers, and again, the Sharks look good, and then they go and lose by 30 points to the Bulls. They're going to be tired after their tour. They've not had a rest, but the Stormers have lost all of their away games. They've won 3 out of 3 at home, winning, but they're 0 out of 5 away. Now, to be fair, that includes away games to the Bulls and the Lions in the last 2 games. And so this one, I say, it's very difficult to pick. As was picked on the live show last week, it was pointed out that the Sharks don't actually like playing at home. They sometimes play better away. Still, I'm going to back the Sharks on this one by 5 because the Stormers have just such a poor away record. Then on Sunday, we have the Brumbies versus the Jaguares. Now, the Jaguares got that win over the Rebels, so you could say, hey, they can actually tour. But their record recently has been win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. And it was a tight win over the Rebels. The Brumbies, got that win over the Reds, but then obviously stumbled to the Highlanders. And I think they have been okay at home. They've won 2 out of their 3 games at home, only losing to the Waratahs at home, who do top the Australia Conference. And so I'm going to back the Brumbies by 7 in this one. I think the travelling will start to take its effect on the Jaguares. So that's how I see things going. Always up for good old rugby chats. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Also, do subscribe to the channel. Red box down below, or my face right there. And there's also a box there as well with my latest video. So thank you very much, and enjoy whatever rugby you're watching this weekend.